In this episode of Flea Market Rescue, I'm going to teach you a simple and easy way to make farmhouse Christmas trees. They're going to be made out of old cardboard that we have laying around, scarves, a sweater. They should only take you 5 minutes to make, and I have 4 varieties to show you. So you ready? Let's get started. First, you're going to start off by taking an old piece of cardboard. You're going to cut the corners off to make it into a circle. Then you're going to go ahead and pretend like you're cutting a pie, and you're going to cut a quarter of the pie out. Now on the quarter of the pie that was next to the one you cut out, you're going to roll that into a cone shape and cut that out. Make sure it'll stand up straight, and then put it to the side, and we'll work on getting the rest of the cones. Take another quarter of that pie, roll it up, and then go ahead and cut it away. Roll up the remaining piece and then make sure that it's going to stand straight. If it's a little too long on one side, you can always use your scissors to just trim it down a little bit. Now we have that one piece that we originally cut out. We're going to go ahead and roll that into a cone and make sure that that's going to stand straight up for us as well. Remember, you can always trim the bottom. You want to go ahead and take one of those cones, roll it up, and put a bead of hot glue on one side of the cone, and that way it's going to go ahead and close the opening, and it's going to stay in that cone formation. Add a little more glue if needed, and if you see one side is a little bit longer, you can go ahead and cut it down a little so it'll stand up properly. And then you're just going to want to repeat the process with the remaining cones. I had some of this wool left over from another project, and I thought this would make an awesome farmhouse tree. So I'm just dabbing a little bit of glue to the top of it, and I'm going to spin that around and just keep wrapping and wrapping and wrapping until I get to the end of the cone formation. Keep adding glue every so often just to keep it in place. As I'm getting down to the bottom of the cone, I'm going to want to leave just a little bit of wool so that I can tuck some inside to give it a finished look. Make sure that's glued in place. I think that came out pretty good. The next farmhouse tree we're going to make is out of this beautiful white fuzzy scarf. We're going to lay our cone down onto the scarf, and we're going to see approximately how much of the scarf we're going to need to wrap around the cone. Once we determine that, we'll go ahead and cut off the excess part of the scarf. Add some hot glue to the scarf and then place your cone on top. When you're placing your cardboard on the scarf, you kind of want to do that diagonally. Add a little more glue and then go ahead and fold over the top so that it's covering the whole half of the cone. Now you're going to just want to add a little more glue and then just kind of roll your cone on top of the excess fabric. Pinch it together and then look at the top. If it looks a little bulky, you can cut some away. This type of fabric is very forgiving. Add a little more glue to the top and then just kind of pinch that together. Now we're going to work on the bottom part of the tree. So what you're going to do is put some hot glue onto the cardboard, and then you're going to roll the cone over onto the extra fabric, which will glue that in place and kind of finish that bottom part off. If you notice that any part of the tree, the fabric is not glued down, take the glue gun and glue that down so that everything's nice and tight and secure. Now put a little glue on the inside and then tuck your extra fabric in there so that it glues in place and gives it a nice finished look. If you see anything sticking up or isn't quite glued down good enough, just add a little more glue and then just make sure it's secured in place. Now we're going to take the sleeve of an old sweater and we're going to make that into a beautiful farmhouse tree. Slide the cone inside the sleeve and determine how much of the sleeve you need. Once you determine that, go ahead and take the scissors and cut what is needed. Now you just want to cut down until you get to the cuff. You're going to put some glue on the inside of the cone and you're going to tuck the cuff inside to give it that finished look. Now you're going to put some glue on the cone and take one side of the fabric and tuck it over. Then you're going to cut off whatever excess you have because this fabric isn't as forgiving as that last one we used. So we have to have a little less fabric. Now on the other side, we're going to put glue on the actual fabric and then we're going to pull it and wrap it around the cone. Add glue to the top and you're going to just keep pinching the top closed. Add a little more glue if necessary and just keep pinching that top shut so that there's no gaps, no openings or anything like that. Don't worry if it doesn't look absolutely perfect. We have some of that jute rope that we're going to put on top and that's going to cover any of those imperfections and it's just going to look amazing. I got this jute rope at Hobby Lobby and it has wire in it so it's going to stay in place really nice. I'm going to go ahead and start at the top here and just kind of like circle down the cone. Once you get down to the bottom of the tree, you're going to go ahead and you're going to cut that jute. And then just tuck it behind the other piece of jute. Now for our last farmhouse tree. I have this scarf that has like this nubby look to it. I love the way it looks. It's just a really cool kind of fabric. So that's what we're going to do with this. I'm kind of just putting the cone on there and seeing how much I need and cutting away the excess. I'm putting some hot glue on the cone and then I'm wrapping the fabric around it. I'm just adding a little glue at the top, and then I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to cut away all the excess fabric. We just have too much fabric. We're going to add some more glue and just kind of roll that like a burrito. Add a little more glue and just continue to roll it. Now we're just going to try to finish this up, so we're going to add some glue to the excess fabric, and then we're going to continue to roll that over. Now we'll tuck the excess fabric in the bottom of the cone to give it a finished look. And we'll finish by gluing that in place. So you just want to make sure everything's secure. I see a little part on the back here that I need a little more glue, and just a little bit at the top, and voila, our tree will be done. Like I said, it should only take you about 5 minutes to put one of these together. It's a real simple and easy project that you can get done quickly. And they look cute too. If you like this episode of Flea Market Rescue and you want to see more episodes like this, make sure to subscribe to my channel and ring the bell. I'm Kelly Sherry, and this has been Flea Market Rescue.